I knew something was dead wrong the moment I watched two HOA patrol guys open my gate at 2 in the morning. One of them filming my garage, the other measuring my driveway like they were planning a damn seizure. And all I could think was, you boys just picked the wrong rancher for your little stunt. 10 days later, those same men were in handcuffs at my gate. If there's one thing you learn from living alone on a ranch more than a decade, it's this: your land talks to you. Not with words, no sir, but with signs, little changes, things out of place you can feel if you bother to pay attention. The sun had barely peeked over the ridge that morning. I was out on the porch, cup of black coffee in hand, same as always. The air was cool, clean, made you glad to be alive. My old healer, Daisy, sat beside me, ears up like she was waiting for the day to say something back. As I walked toward the gate, I saw fresh tracks cut a clean line across my gravel drive. Not mine, not Hank's truck, not the UPS guy, different. Ranch trucks have a look. Narrow. Treads, old mud, a wobble from worn shocks. These were wide, deep, aggressive. 33-inch mud terrains, two clean pavement princesses. I crouched, touched the gravel still loose from the weight. These tracks weren't from last night. Dawn, maybe an hour before I woke up. And that's when I felt it, that twist in your gut that tells you trouble's sniffing around. I'm not a paranoid man. Folks take wrong turns out here, especially with GPS acting a fool in the hills. But this wasn't that. The tracks slowed at my gate, circled back. Whoever came down my road was looking for something not lost. I leaned down, studied the tread. Big attitude, zero ranch work. Not one of us. Far down the slope through the haze, I could see Larkspur Hills HOA suburbia. Painted fences, perfect lawns, the kind of folks who lose their minds if your trash can's out of alignment. Their property ends at the bottom of the hill. Mine starts right there, black and white in the registry. So what the hell were their tires doing up here? I sipped my coffee, bitterness settling while Daisy sniffed the fence. That gut feeling sharpened, but I kept my cool. No cussing, no mug-throwing tantrums. Just steady breathing, like I used to do back when I wore a badge. A few hours later, I checked my trail cams. And just like that, the puzzle turned into a warning. There it was, plain as day. A white SUV, Larkspur Hills Who Patrol, printed right across the door. Not law enforcement, not county, just an HOA patrol car creeping my land like they owned it. My anger's not the kind that yells at the sky. It goes cold, quiet, focused. I leaned back, stared at that paused frame. So that's how it's going to be, I muttered. 'Cause that day was only the start. Trouble don't show up all at once. It tests the door first, checks your windows, circles your land to see if you're paying attention. I waited. Maybe a neighbor'd show up with an apology, maybe a package got lost, anything normal. But deep down, I knew better. Because 2 nights after those tracks, the land spoke again, and this time it didn't whisper. Just past midnight, motion alert buzzed my phone. Not rare deer, coyotes. Neighbor's dog now and then, but this wasn't from the back fence, it was from gate cam. One pointed right at the keypad. My stomach knotted. Daisy felt it too, lifting her head. I opened the feed, there it was. Same white SUV, headlights off, 2 figures both in dark uniforms with shiny patches. Not sheriff, not county. Just that damn HOA logo trying too hard to look official. The SUV rolled up, stopped inches from the gate. Passenger hopped out, didn't even look around. Walked right to the keypad like he'd done it 100 times. And the gate just unlocked. No forcing, no sparks, just a beep, and it slid open. Son of a... well, you know. There's a special kind of anger when a man walks through a boundary he knows he's got no right to cross. Passenger held the gate while the driver eased the SUV inside. Camera caught a card in his hand, a damn access code. Someone leaked it or they stole it. My jaw clenched. I'm retired, but old instincts don't die. When someone breaches your perimeter, the badge you used to wear starts itching again. SUV stopped halfway up my drive. Both men stepped out. One had a flashlight and a camera, the other a rolling tape measure. They started filming, measuring, murmuring numbers. The mic caught a phrase that froze my blood. Gradients off. Probably non-compliant. HOA language means they're about to make your life hell on paper. I screenshotted everything, faces, license, all of it. Organized like I used to do for cases. Then I did something I hadn't in a long time, pulled on jeans, laced my boots, and stepped out into the cold night air. But I didn't confront them. That's what they'd want. Some angry rancher they could paint as a threat. Nah. I watched from the shadows, let him walk right into more evidence. 15 minutes measuring, filming, prepping a report for their higher-ups. Then they left just as calm as they came, using the keypad again. Clean, deliberate, organized. That's when I knew it wasn't curiosity. It was the start of an operation. By sunrise, I had a flash drive in my pocket, headed for the sheriff's office. 10 years since I left the badge, but that building hadn't changed. Same brick, same flag, same squeaky pole. Inside, the place smelled like old coffee and dust. Young deputy at the desk, too clean, too green. "Morning," I said. "Here to see Harland. Tell him Flynn's here." His eyes jumped. Milo Flynn. Last I checked. Harland came out grayer, slower, but still solid. Mo, he grinned. "What brings you in?" I didn't smile. He saw it, face dropping into that late-night call look. "Let's go to my office." Door shut. I dropped the flash drive on his desk. "What's this?" he asked. "Press play," I said. He watched the footage, HOA SUV code at my gate, trespassing. "You're kidding me," he muttered. "Nope." He watched the whole thing twice, once as a friend, once as law. They're HOA, not law enforcement. No authority past their boundary. What are they doing on your land? How'd they get your code? That's what I was hoping you'd help me figure out. He exhaled. Not mad, just tired. The kind of tired you get from mopping up messes made by people who can't handle not having power. "You did right bringing this in," he said. "I'll file a report. Mind printing me everything. Written statements, too." I slid over a signed affidavit. "Already did." He chuckled. "Never stopped being a cop, did you?" "Nope, just stopped getting paid." He nodded. "I'll talk to their board. Sometimes these HOA folks get carried away." I leaned back. "Harlan, this isn't carried away. This is planned." He didn't argue, just stared at that paused frame. "Milo," he said, "I'll keep an eye, but so should you. HOA types like that don't usually stop after the first warning." I shook his hand. "Figured." Back at the ranch, sun burning the chill off the pines, I checked my gate again. No signs of force made it worse, really. They'd accessed it, not broken in. Clean, quiet, deliberate. Spent the morning fixing fences, anything to keep busy while my mind ran loops around that footage. I knew Harland would make calls, fill forms, talk to the HOA. But I knew these folks. They don't respond to warnings. They respond to boundaries, the ones they want to erase or the ones they want to control. That afternoon, I spotted a white envelope zip-tied to my gate. Laminated sign, fancy stationery. HOA. People love two things rules, and things that look like rules. Embossed seal, Larkspur Hills. Homeowners Association Community Safety Committee. I didn't open it right away. Old cop habits: inspect the scene before touching evidence. Sure enough, 2 fresh sets of boot prints, tire marks, same tread as before. They hadn't come in, but they'd gotten close enough to send a message. The letter was thick cardstock, like a lawsuit. "Mr. Flynn, the Larkspur Hills HOA has received multiple community concerns regarding the safety, visibility, and compliance of Flynn Private Drive. Due to its proximity to Larkspur Hills, this road falls under extended HOA interest and observation. Fails to meet acceptable slope and runoff standards. Assessment and compliance modifications will begin within 30 days. Please ensure unrestricted access." I read it twice slow, then a third time. Not a request, a declaration. They were telling me they'd improve my private road without my permission, like it was their cul-de-sac. And I was the trespasser. I laughed a real mean laugh. I took photos, documented everything. Sent it straight to Rachel, my lawyer, sharp as broken glass. She called in 10 minutes. "Milo, they've lost their damn minds. That road's legally yours, separate parcel. They can't touch it without risking a lawsuit. They seem eager to test that theory. Oh, they'll fail spectacularly. I'm drafting a cease and desist. They set foot on your land again, we take them apart piece by piece." When the call ended, I swapped out every old no trespassing sign, put up new ones, brighter added trail cams, motion sensors, tightened the bolts. If they wanted a fight, I wouldn't give them an inch. But even then, I had no idea how far the HOA would go. Not until another letter showed up worse than before. Rachel fired off her cease and desist, precise, cold as a bucket of ice. Sent copies to the board, the manager, the county clerk, just for fun. For a day or two, things went quiet. No SUV, no alerts, even Daisy seemed relaxed. But trouble doesn't vanish, it reloads. 48 hours later, another envelope, thicker cardstock, new name Karen West, chairwoman, the Queen herself stepping out of the shadows. Mr. Flynn, you have refused repeated attempts to conduct a mandatory road inspection. Your non-cooperation constitutes obstruction. Mandatory compliance inspection scheduled within 7 days. Inspectors are authorized to enter for measurement documentation and evaluation. Failure to allow access will result in escalation to county authorities. I laughed because the stupidity was getting artful. Escalate to county. The same county who'd already seen Rachel's letter, Harlan's report. Please. Scanned it, filed it, sent it to Rachel. 10 minutes she called, no pleasantries, just, are these people drunk? Like medically drunk? Unclear. I said, could be arrogance, could be stupidity. This is harassment, legal harassment. I'm adding it to the criminal complaint. We have trespass, unauthorized access, false inspections, written admission of future trespass. I'm sending a package, a legal grenade. She got that tone low, dangerous. They're not stopping. Be ready, Milo. Escalation like this usually means something physical. She was right. Next morning, I found a tripod camera set up just across the line. Black weatherproof aimed at my driveway. HOA equipment, plain as day, filming my road like a nature doc. I walked up, stared into the lens, lifted a slow, deliberate middle finger, and walked back to the house. A new line had been crossed. Letters are one thing, but surveillance, that's war. The thing about folks who crave authority, they can't resist the illusion of it. So I built a bait station, official-looking sign, orange cones, fake engineering gear, motion sensors hidden in the gravel. That night, the HOA SUV returned Buzzcut and Thin Glasses, my favorite duo. Buzzcut poked at the sign. Thin Glasses scanned a QR code that linked straight to the county property registry, my name, my parcel, my jurisdiction. His face went from confusion to fear, bureaucratic fear, the worst kind. They realized they were being recorded and backed out fast. My bait had worked. 2 days later, a new face-fake county inspector in a too-clean sedan. Windbreaker badge, but the letters on his jacket were crooked badge, was cheap boots, too clean. He rattled my gate, measured the drive, jotted on a clipboard. Enough theater. I stepped out, whistled. You looking for something? He flashed a badge. No seal, no photo, just a name. Landon Whitaker. I called Harlan right there. You sending an inspector my way? Nope. You got a mystery guest? Yeah, says he's county. No Whitaker on payroll. Hold him. I told the guy, you should sit down. You're about to get a real inspection. He ran, sped off in a cloud of dust. Cameras got it all. Later, Rachel called sedans registered to Dennis West, husband of Karen West. The HOA president herself, that was it. They'd escalated to felony territory, impersonating an official harassment fraud. Rachel's voice was serious. This isn't an HOA dispute. It's criminal. Be careful, I knew it. They still thought they had the upper hand. That told me the storm was just beginning. I checked the gate, found a black notebook dropped by the fake inspector. Inside, handwriting sketches, measurements, notes. Karen wants this road under HOA by end of month. Get gate code from maintenance. If owner resists, escalate. Use county angle. Checkpoint. They were planning an actual checkpoint on my road. This was no exaggeration. It was a battlefield surveyed and marked. Scanned every page, locked the original away, called Rachel. She growled, this is gold. Felony admission conspiracy. Scan and send everything. Keep the original safe. Next morning, the HOA sent something worse. They tried to block a delivery truck. Hank, my hay hauler for 15 years, called. I'm stuck. 2 HOA dudes blocked the entrance with cones, say I need a permit. My stomach dropped. Stay in your truck. Don't move, I'm coming. I clipped my body cam on, rolled down the hill. 2 HOA patrolmen, 1 SUV, 3 cones, 0 authority. They'd set up a makeshift checkpoint. Hank's trailer blocked, face red, angry. I parked, flipped on the cam. Gentlemen, get the hell off my road. Clipboard guy tried to play official, sir. This is an active safety inspection zone. Assessment of what the gradient of Flynn Drive, he read off his script. Authorized by who? Silence. I handed him the county parcel map. This is my land. You're trespassing, obstructing a lawful delivery, impersonating authority. They shifted nervous, finally moved the cones and left fast. I trimmed the footage uploaded to YouTube. HOA tries to block legal delivery on private property. 10,000 views in hours. Comments cheered, but the next morning my inbox held a summons. HOA disciplinary committee. They weren't backing off, they were doubling down. That morning, Daisy led me to the ridge. I overheard radio chatter. Thin glasses, older man, Karen herself. She wants the checkpoint built before he comes down the hill. Full setup tent barricade signage. Karen barked, "He doesn't dictate the rules. We do. Flynn Drive will be HOA governed whether he likes it or not." My hand curled into a fist. She wasn't just trespassing, she was planning an illegal seizure. I called Harland. "Sheriff, they're building a checkpoint on my property line." He went quiet. Then, "Milo, do not engage. I'm bringing the prosecutor. Bring him fast. Karen's about to do something so stupid it'll make her famous." From the ridge, I watched them tent barricades, cones Karen at the center like she'd won. I strapped on my cam, walked down slow, every step calmer. At the barricade, Karen smiled. "We're just maintaining safety. From now on, access requires an HOA pass." She tried to hand me a card with my name misspelled. I didn't take it. "You've officially crossed into criminal trespass and unlawful restriction of movement." "Oh, stop," she scoffed. "Nobody's being arrested." "Not yet." I hit record. "Karen West, you are violating Colorado Revised Statute 385101, impeding lawful access, operating an unauthorized checkpoint." She spun to her patrolman, then engines. 3 sheriff vehicles, an unmarked sedan, and a news van. Karen turned white as a sheet. Sheriff Cortez stepped out. "Ma'am, step away from the barricade." Prosecutor read out the charges: trespass, obstruction, impersonation, unlawful detainment. Karen tried to argue. "You should be siding with us. The judge is part of an HOA silence." "Are you suggesting I break the law for you?" the judge later asked in court. Karen's lawyer begged her to stop talking. Verdict was swift probation, community service, 5-year HOA, ban $330,000 in fines. Karen collapsed. I walked out into the Colorado sun wind carrying something I hadn't felt in weeks: peace. A few days later, I put up a new steel sign. Private road, no HOA patrol. No Karen, no exceptions. Life settled back. Fence checks, coffee at sunrise, Daisy chasing rabbits. One afternoon, Hank rolled up. "You hiring for security?" he hollered. "Only if you come with a flamethrower." We both laughed, and for the first time in a long while, it felt like home again. "So you tell me, what would you have done? Where's the line between neighborly and nonsense, between law and overreach? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Lord knows, in a world like this, we all need a little more justice and a lot less Karen. If you've ever stared down an HOA or just love a good underdog win, hit that like button, share your story below, and let's keep the road clear for folks who earn it.